Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's Combo Breaker 99. I'm back with another quick post-fight analysis video from last night. Cage Fury FC 91, strawweight champion Elise Reed versus Jillian Decoursey, who moved up from 105 to 115 for this title shot. Now, if you're not familiar, Cage Fury is a 4-round title fight. It will go to a 5th round if the fight is tied up. So if you have it 2-2, you will get that 5th round for the tiebreaker. I thought we were going to get a 5th round last night. I felt like Elise Reed, she won the... Actually, I feel like Jillian Decoursey won the first 2 rounds, and then Elise Reed won the next 2 rounds. So I thought we were going to get that 5th round, but the judges, they had it 3 rounds to 1 for Elise Reed. Elise Reed won by unanimous decision. But again, in my opinion, I felt like it was very competitive. I would have liked to seen a 5th round in this one. But real quick, man, just going back and looking at the fight, rounds 1 and 2, like I said, I gave to Jillian Decoursey. They were very close, but I really had to go by the groundwork in the more dominant positions that Jillian Decoursey was in, and just the overall ground control here. The first round, Reed, she was applying the pressure early on. She was establishing a good kick to the lead leg of Decoursey, but it was Decoursey who timed one of those kicks, closed in for a clinch. And I know that Reed, she was using that physical strength, and she was working the body, and she tried to get the back of Decoursey, but it was Decoursey who got the nice little trip and takedown off of her back. She tried to shift to the top position, but it was Reed who winds up on top. But then Decoursey, she slides into an armbar position attempt, and she's got the arm, but she can't secure it because Reed is putting the weight on her. But I thought it was a very close round. I just felt like Decoursey won it off her ground control here because I feel like she had the dominant position, and she always had that armbar attempt secured just in case that, Reed tried to stand up. Reed was more so just defending, so she was kind of inactive that first round. So I gave it to Decoursey. Second round, Reed goes back to pressuring with those kicks to the lead leg. And once again, Decoursey, she times another kick, catches it, takes the fight to the ground, and on top, locks onto the body. But it's Reed who's landing some nice strikes to the head. So she is landing these strikes to the head. I'm looking at that. Decoursey, she's trying to get into a top position. And when she does, she's working in the guard. But Decoursey, she's getting hit with some elbows to the head, but she's giving as well. She's landing to the body. So there's some nice back and forth action here. But it's Decoursey who's in the top position. She's got the head in the chest, and she's working the body. I feel like she's in a good position because there's a point where Reed, she can't get up, so she's forced to work off of her back. She's forced to work off of her back. But it's when Decoursey stands up that Reed lands a good up kick too. So I think the judges may have looked at that. But in my opinion, I feel like Decoursey, she did a good job at really neutralizing Reed in the second round. Keeping her on her back and just keeping the top position and working the body. The third round, though, this is where it changed around. In my opinion, I feel like Reed, she started pumping out a good jab. I know the leg kicks were working early on, but they were getting timed. So Reed, she made a nice adjustment, started pumping out the jab, being very effective with the jab. It was knocking Decoursey back a little bit. But Decoursey, not wanting to get picked apart, she shoots in for a takedown, but Reed defends this takedown well, using her strength and putting the weight on Decoursey. And Reed goes back straight. She goes right back to her distance, start pumping that jab out again. And when Decoursey shoots in for another takedown, Reed starts landing some big hammer fists to the head. And these hammer fists, they're doing damage. She's landing until Decoursey was able to take that top position and try to get the back of Reed. But Reed, she's a dog in there. So while she's trying to get the back of Reed, she's throwing and she's landing. So finally, Decoursey, she gets that full mount when she gets her to the ground. But Reed, she's bucking. She bucks and bursts, and she gets back to her feet and goes on attack to back up Decoursey. So I gave this round fully to Reed. But again, all these rounds are close. You really have to look at volume versus ground control in this fight. But here, I feel like the effective work in the third round was done by Reed. I feel like she was pumping some nice jabs out, landing some nice hammer fists, and she was starting to be effective and doing the damage. All right, so fourth round, Elise Reed, she opens up. Nice measured pressure once again. She lands a double kick to the head and to the body. It's a nice little side kick that she lands to the body. And in my opinion, she looks like she's a fresher fighter. But Decoursey, she's still in the fight. She's moving and feinting. She shoots in for a takedown. When she shoots in, she leaves herself open for a barrage of strikes from Reed. And then Decoursey, she tries to lock onto one of Reed's legs, and she has it twisted in a position whenever she sits her down in this weird position where I'm thinking she's going to get a submission win. But Reed, she's pushing through it. Like, her leg is like, the knee is touching the mat and her foot's like up in the air. So it's like this awkward position like you see right here. So while she's in that position, though, Reed is still looking for something to punch. She's still in there staying active. So while she's looking for something to punch, Decoursey, she's more so on the defense here. She has to tuck her head in while she's trying to find that submission attempt. But at the same time, she really can't find it because Reed is being too active. She's hitting her everywhere. She's still hitting her in these shots. And I think that Decoursey, in my opinion, when she's in this position, she needs to work. You know, kind of like some of these fighters like Jillian Robertson, when they get you to the ground, or Cynthia Calvillo, when they get you to the ground, they're still working on the inside. You know, they're landing body shots, they're landing head shots. They're not just trying to force the submission. Because I think in this round, Decoursey was trying to force the submission a little bit, and I think that Reed found the second win and was about to do more damage while riding that body lock. You know, even through these armbar attempts from Decoursey, I feel like Reed was still doing the better work, and she picked up the pace. So I gave the fourth round to Elise Reed. I had it 2-2, but again, the judges, they had it different. I think Decoursey, she edged the first 2 rounds, but Reed picked it up in the second half with the activity and the more effective strikes. And yeah, she did do some damage on the face of Decoursey. Yeah, but the judges, they had it 39-37, 3-1. But overall, good competitive fight. I think that next time for Jillian Decoursey, she might just need to be a little bit more active on the ground. Like, she's very good at, you know, some of these submission attempts and shooting in and timing some of the timing some of the kicks of Elise Reed, you know, and taking her to the ground. Like, she has no problem getting the fight to the ground. I just think she needs to be more active instead of just looking for the arm bar or looking for like a knee bar or whatever. You know, she needs to go in there and start punching. You know, just start punching, because Elise Reed, she was punching anything. You know, she was looking for openings to punch. So yeah, overall, Elise Reed, she was able to defend her title last night. Let me know, guys, if y'all seen the fight, what y'all thought of it. But yeah, definitely a good strawweight fight for Cage Fury. But I really wish they would just straight up do 5 rounds, because it would be more so competitive at the same time. It's just something I guess we're used to. But yeah, guys, that's all I got on this one. Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Subscribe. Peace.